Hello, I'm Quentin Wells for the Wildcat Network, and today I am interviewing.
Hi, I'm Juli. My name is Julieta Hernandez. Um, I go by Juli just because it's so much easier.
We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm here with Huli to discuss her heritage. Um, so, what do you find to be the most important part of that?
I would say, like, out of everything that makes like my heritage, I would say we're very like family focused. So that's like one of my most important things. We're very close to each other. I think it goes along with everybody, not just like my heritage. Like I like being close to people no matter like their beliefs or culture or whatever. I am just a very sociable. I think it's a very sociable culture. Um, we kind of get along with all the Hispanics, all the Latins, all the I don't know, kind of all the cultures. We like to learn a lot. Um, Out of the traditions, I would say still family like focused. Mostly like meals are very family focused, parties are family focused. I would say we just literally family overall. It's like our main thing.
Hmm. Are there any specific members of your family who are the most important to you?
I would say my mom. Um, I would say that because like I don't know, in Hispanic culture, the women are very I wouldn't say like they just stick to certain things. Like we're kind of part of everything, you know, like the I wouldn't say they kind of rule the household, but they kind of do. I don't know if that makes sense. Like they kind of say how it goes and what happens and what doesn't happen, going along with the family. So I would say my mom and my grandma have a big impact in my life and how I am and how I continue to be. So
Yeah, I know you'd mentioned the meals are a big part of that. Are there any
mhm.
traditional dishes that are your favorites, or like what's your kind of like family recipes?
So for Christmas, we make over 200 tamales, which is basically like it's kind of like a wrapped, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like corn wrapped and more corn with meat inside. It's kind of like a biscuit of meat. I don't know how to explain it, but we make a lot of those. So Christmas is a big thing for us. We also made pozole and we do like a lot of traditions like the posadas and we go around and ask for shelter, which is related back to like the Catholicism. So that's a big thing for us too. Um, Thanksgiving is kind of big in my family just because they're all grown here in the United States, and Thanksgiving is a big, huge like family tradition. So I would say it kind of related back to us because of that reason. So for that same thing, we eat tamales, we eat pozole, we're really big on meat, I would say.
All right. Are there any other major traditions that you can think of?
We do celebrate El Día de los Muertos, which is our kind of Halloween. It's more religious wise, kind of. It's like a more like a cultural tradition rather than just dress up and go ask for candy. We relate it back to like our ancestors and how they died, what they liked. So we make this thing called the altar, and basically you put a picture of a family person that has died, and you put all the things that they like. And basically, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the movie Coco, I think it's called, or yeah. So it's basically like that. Like we make an altar, and then you put the things that they like. And our beliefs is that they come on that night, and they come and are able to grab all this stuff that they like and take it back with them. So, and it's kind of like a visitation time for them and for us to remember what they like and what they were like, and reflect up like how they would feel about how we're doing now. So it, yeah, more like a reflection time.
All right. Um, are, I suppose would there be like anything else that you think is worth mentioning?
Um, we also do like I don't they don't celebrate it here, but it's basically very religious. It's El Dia de los Santos, which is another birthday of yours. I don't know how to explain it. So basically, it's like if there's saints on the Bible, and each of them has a day, and basically, if your name is the same as their saint of that day, is technically like your birthday. So it's like a second birthday. So that's another thing that I don't think a lot of people know about, but it's a really cool,
Oh yeah.
way to get two birthdays.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty cool. All right. Uh, anyway, is there any like sort of other celebration you'd like to mention, or like is there a favorite like historical figure that you might have?
Mm, out of history, I don't think so. I mean, sometimes because I am from Mexico, so sometimes we like will mention like the Independence Day, but we're not very like my family's not very big on that. Um, we're more religious, so if it's something that pertains to like Catholicism, like Ash Wednesday, we'll talk about that, or like I don't know, like the saints. Yeah, we're not really historically like involved, I would say.
All right. Uh, well then, are there any like other dishes, traditions, celebrations that you think's worth mentioning, or you think we've got it all?
Um, I'm trying to think. There's plenty of dishes that I feel like they're not very well known. The other day I was just talking about um, this dish is called birria, and it's basically goat that I don't know a lot of people know about, but it's very good. So it's like soup, goat soup. It sounds nasty, but it's very good. Um, and the process of cooking it is actually a very like a family tradition for me. My grandpa has a ranch, so we kill the goat, we drain the blood, and cook it in a hole in the ground. So that's something different than not a lot of people would be like, wow, very fond of. But yeah, I mean, I think for all Mexican culture, the food is very important for us. Food and family, I would say. And yeah, so
All right.
I think
Um,
that's it.
well, thank you. I very much appreciate your time. We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and she's going to tell me a little bit about what that means to her.
So I'm from Puerto Rico, on both sides of my family, so I'm 100%. And to me, that's basically like very like we're very, very, very prideful and very proud of to be Puerto Rican. Although we are like still territory of America and we're owned by them, like we're still Hispanic. Our native language is Spanish. Our foods, the way we celebrate certain holidays, all that stuff. Um, One of the things that we probably take most pride in is like December 22nd. It's Flag Day for us. So that's when we gained independence because they banned our flag at one point and then we gained it back. And that's where we came up with the whole red and white stripes with the blue and the white star. And then on July 23rd is our Independence Day. So that's separate from Flag Day, but that's when we gained independence to be our own island and not like owned. Well, we're owned, but not like a state of nothing. So yeah, basically that's that.
All right. Um, are there any like cultural traditions you'd like to share?
Um, I know Christmas is like a big thing for us, and most is like Hispanic households in Puerto Rico we're more religious. So in the states, like here, we celebrate Santa Claus and stuff at home, and in Puerto Rico we'd celebrate more like, the birth of Christ and stuff like that, more on the religion side.
Um, could you tell a little more about that? Like, are there any specific traditions that would really highlight the difference?
So, the way most people like traditionally you would celebrate Christmas on the 25th, and our big thing is more on like Christmas Eve. So that's like when we have like the big dinner and stuff like that. And I guess the more American side is we would celebrate on the 25th, but Christmas Eve is more when we have our parties and we just celebrate like the birth of Jesus and everybody going up to see it and stuff like that. Like you go to church most likely on Christmas Eve instead of like staying at home or whatever the case is.
Hmm. Would there be any other traditions you'd be interested in sharing? Like, say, like a favorite dish from Puerto Rico or anything like that?
Um, my favorite dish would probably be, and you get it more around the holidays as well. It's when we actually like cook a whole entire pig. Like we bury a little pit in the backyard and you have your coal and stuff like that, and we cook a whole pig in our backyard. It's called lechon, but yeah, that's probably like my favorite dish when holiday seasons come around.
Yeah, I know that in another interview I'd done a similar thing with goat was mentioned. Is that like having a big cookout like that kind of really a popular way to have your family get together?
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like almost every meal is a big family meal just because it's typical for like more than one generation to live in the same household together. So every meal for the most part, especially like when holidays come around, it's like a big celebration, big cookout.
Hmm. All right. Is there anything else in particular that you can think of?
No, not off the back of my head right now.
All right. Well, I appreciate hearing from you, and I'm thankful you shared your traditions.